Bro, over the years, both of us have seen lots of guys, bro, fall weak, in our situation with less than that of a life sentence. What kept you motivated and encouraged throughout this whole ordeal?
I'm going to tell you something specifically about my case, something special that let me know that my case is bigger than me and bigger than the decisions that I make. So, consciously at least. Um, Basically, when the situation happened, I was dealing with a woman who was an exotic dancer, you know. So I was visiting my children out here in Florida, and I had done so for about 2 days, and I was planning on going back up north, you know, in the next morning. But before that, we decided to go have a drink in a club, strip club. Now, the relationship that I had with this woman was one where we were, you know what I'm saying, on, we had been together for 2.5 years, and we both enjoyed at that time. I don't know what course she's on in her life right now, but other women. So, um, this woman that I was with, her name was Deanna. I called her Jeannie. That was the name I gave her, but her name was Deanna. So she meets a girl named Deanna in the strip club where we had to have this drink before we go back. She just happens to be a stripper herself. Okay, she meets this woman in the bathroom. This woman is a waitress. Her name is Deanna. It's the first time that they ever met somebody named Deanna. Somebody else named Deanna. So they're like, oh, they're tripping off of that. But the girl had came out the bathroom and she was crying. She was crying. So she was laughing, walking with my girl, but she was wiping away tears. So my girl tells me, oh, she's not feeling well, boom. And the girl tells me if she ain't feeling well, she wants to go home, but the boss won't let her leave. And, she was stumbling. So she comes to the table, and she's at the table with us. And, my ex says, hey, well, how old are you? Because I'm the first Deanna. And the girl says, pulls out her ID, and then my ex girl, pulls out her ID, and they look at the dates, and their birthdays are April 8th and April 9th. So now they're really tripping. How the hell, you got the same birthday as me, basically the same name. So uh, it attracted somebody to the table, uh, um, important figure in this thing, and he basically asked, hey, what's so funny over here? So they explain, hey, we got the same name, same birthday, isn't that something? He has a sour kind of attitude. So I say, hey, they got the same name, same birthday. I mean, their birthdays are day apart. They just tripping off of that. Just to let them know that somebody's there with them. I'm not trying to even really make eye contact with this guy, so I really don't pay attention to how he looks. I turn a little bit to the side and just said it like that. Like I said, my girl's a dancer. I know how to handle that environment. I was trying not to provoke any type of, intimidation to make him feel like I was intimidating him or anything like that. So I left the eye contact even alone. You know what I'm saying? So basically, that was basically the end of that as far as I know. We got ready to leave. The guy approaches me, says, yo, where the hoes at? I said, I ain't from around here. Why don't you tell me? And he says it again real loud with my girl talking to another female, and with the same girl. They're both talking. They both talking about coming with us. And I had girls dancing in, my girl and her friends dancing in Miami, Atlanta, New York. And it was something that they considered to have fun with. So, he says, where the hoes at? And then at this point I say, because my girl has the daddy's girl t-shirt on, and I say, well, just because my girl calls me daddy doesn't mean I'm a pimp, right? And then he said, because me and my boys want to fuck. So then a big dude comes and grabs them and they leave. So man, we're still in the club. Boom. Anyway, so now eventually when we leave, they say some things that could have been taken as a threat, but to me it was such an immature situation that I didn't really perceive that it could possibly go that far seriously. Like, I mean, elementary school, they don't try to beat you up and take your girl. They don't do that. You know what I'm saying? When they do that, this is grown men. You know what I mean? Anyway, so uh, a fight ensues. I'm not gonna go into what happened right now because this is not the point. The third or the fourth guy in the fight, who actually happens to be the same gentleman, he actually, the other guys worked for him, so I guess he sent them over there first. Okay, man. But he actually ends up being the one getting killed, though a few of them get hurt. I got hurt, I was cut 6 times, but okay, Ben. But come to find out, this dude's name, my government name is John W. Dobbs, the fourth. Okay, this dude's name is William John Troy. At the sentencing, his father comes and says that he's William John Troy III, so that presumably makes this man William John Troy the fourth. So he has the John, and he has the fourth in his name, and he has a W in his name like I do. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, so that's in reflection of what just been done with Deanna, Indiana. You know what I'm saying? That seems to be something. Now, mind you, also, his father is a prominent attorney at this time with a law firm that's recognized in at least 3 different states, to my knowledge, at that point. Right? Lately, I heard that he was more recently a assistant law professor in the Ivy League college. All right? Now, what happens is his father's a lawyer, but also my father's a lawyer. My father been struggling, African American, the African American burden had a strong, weight on his back, out there in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? So he never reached that level of success, okay? He struggled. All right? So it's like polar opposites, but at the same time, similarities, okay? Now, I don't know how many girls you know named Isis. How many girls you know named Isis? Bro?
One.
And that's a government name? Okay, that's most times when I ask people how many people they know named Isis, and especially about 16 years ago, they would say none. But come to find out that while my daughter's name is Isis, this man's baby moms came to the sentencing and spoke and stated that they had a daughter named Isis. Now, to me, that and a few other things led me to believe that, this was a case with some sort of divine purpose. You know what I'm saying? So, especially being that there's no evidence against me that would support any of these charges. The most, if you believed the worst thing that was said about me from a legal standpoint, if you believed it, though the man said something different before, it would have been simple battery. That's the only thing that they had evidence to support, is a simple battery, and then I would be able to be entitled to self-defense because I'm surrounded and jumped by all these people. You know what I'm saying? But now, as far as the question was, what
Motivates
me,
what
right?
encourages you.
Okay. I also want to go and touch on some of the other things that I've contemplated on. I contemplated on the story of Joseph in the Bible, the fact that Moses was on the run from the government at one point in time, that David was on the run from the government at one point in time, that Jesus got railroaded and got the death penalty, that so many of the apostles, so many men through history. We talk about Malcolm X, doing 10 years.
Nelson Mandela.
Gandhi. We could talk about even a man like Don King, who, enjoyed financial success. You know what I'm saying? A lot of great men have been through this burden, have had to overcome this obstacle. So that allows me to believe that, in combination with everything else, that, no retreat, no surrender, you know what I mean?